Hello everyone and welcome to Story Time. I'm Miss Isabelle here at the Graves Library. And I'm a little short on time today, so we're just going to jump right in and see if you can guess our theme of the week. Our first book this week is called Rabbit and Squirrel, A Tale of War and Peas. And this one is by Kara LaReau and Scott Magoon. Rabbit and Squirrel, A Tale of War and Peas, and our publisher for this one is Harcourt. There's our title page with a lovely basket of vegetables. Not too long ago, there lived a rabbit named Rabbit. Rabbit was very proud of her garden. She tended her carrots and lettuce with tremendous effort and care. And there's our new friend. And you can see she's quite small compared to this lettuce and these 4 big carrots. That might mean something later in the book. We'll have to wait and see. Across the way, there lived a squirrel named Squirrel. Just as Rabbit was proud of her garden, Squirrel was proud of his. He tended his sweet peas and tomatoes with great energy and zeal. And it looks like the hose he's using there has an acorn on the end, which fits with the squirrels. Though Rabbit and Squirrel lived right across the way from each other, they kept to themselves and never offered each other vegetables or even bothered to say hello. There's a great view of the garden. And there's Rabbit's house, and there's Squirrel's house. Until one day, when Rabbit woke up to find that something awful had happened. Someone had pulled up her crunchiest carrots. Someone had removed her leafiest lettuce. And there's Rabbit asleep in her bed. There's a big hand outside pulling up the lettuce. Rabbit had a very good idea who that very bad someone might be. She hopped over to Squirrel's house and thumped on his door. "Hello," said Squirrel. "You are a pest," shouted Rabbit. "Stay away from my garden or else." You can see Squirrel looks a little bit tired, like he's not quite sure what's going on. He's holding a toothbrush. The next day, Squirrel woke up to find that something awful had happened. Someone had snapped off his sweetest sweet peas. Someone had plucked his ripest, juiciest tomatoes. And here's a look inside Squirrel's house as he sleeps. And there's that big hand again. Squirrel had a very good idea who that very bad someone might be. He scurried over to Rabbit's house and scratched on her door. "What is it?" asked Rabbit. "You are a pest," shouted Squirrel. "Stay away from my garden, or else." Then he threw his rottenest tomato at Rabbit's house and scurried away. Rabbit looks pretty sleepy, and now she's got to clean up a big rotten tomato. That's not very nice. The next day, Squirrel woke up to find all of his beautiful tomatoes plucked away and all of his sweet peas snapped off. "This means war," he shouted, shaking his fist in Rabbit's direction. There are no plants left, just stems. Nothing edible. Later, Rabbit was enjoying a nice big salad. So tasty, she thought, I should have tried tomatoes and peas sooner. Just then she heard a horrible rushing sound. It was the sound of water. And it does seem fitting that a rabbit would be eating a salad. But it looks like Squirrel's hose is pouring water. "You've ruined my garden and my house," cried Rabbit, giving Squirrel a push. "You are my sworn enemy." "Well, you've ruined my garden, so you deserved it," said Squirrel, giving Rabbit a push. "You are my sworn enemy." Just as they were thinking of worse things to do to each other, looking pretty angry. Just as they were thinking of worse things to do to each other, they heard a terrible booming voice from above. "What happened to my garden?" said the gardener. "Your garden?" asked Squirrel and Rabbit. There's some big feet. Rabbit and Squirrel look pretty small. "Get out of here, you pests," the gardener shouted. She waved her pitchfork and stomped the ground with her big green boots. Rabbit and Squirrel hopped and scurried away as fast as they could. You can see how big that boot is. They ran away into the dark woods. "Nasty Squirrel," said Rabbit, "you've ruined everything." "Mean old Rabbit," said Squirrel, "you've ruined everything." And it's getting quite dark. And so it went. Rabbit and Squirrel stayed in the woods and continued to blame each other. One of these days they'll grow tired of fighting. And it's so dark in there, you can only see their eyes and teeth. One of these days they'll grow tired of fighting. And then hopefully they'll learn to grow something new. So they'll get there. They'll get to the point of working together. The end of Rabbit and Squirrel, A Tale of War and Peas. And I think you'll be able to guess my theme for the week if I just tell you the title of the next book. The next book is Good Night Bat, Good Morning Squirrel. So yes, you guessed correctly, I have a squirrel theme this week. And this one is by Paul Meisel. And the publisher is Boyd's Mills Press. Good night, bat. Good morning, squirrel. And there's our bat friend right there on the title page. And a pretty pattern of leaves and bugs over here. All right. Bat needed a new home. "I lost my home. Can I stay with you?" said Bat. "Sorry, we already have too many bats," the old bat said. We asked the old bat, but they're just full there. "I lost my home. Can I live here?" said Bat. "Yes, but I might eat you," said the fox. "No, thank you," said Bat. "I lost my home. Can I share yours?" asked Bat. "No way. Bats are stinky. Please go away," said the skunk. And here's the fox, perfectly willing to eat the bat. And the skunk, who may be throwing stones in glass houses. Bat searched high, Bat searched low, and Bat searched everywhere in between. Then he spotted something. And there he is, searching high and low and in the middle. Nowhere's quite right yet. Then he spotted something. And what did he see? The clump of leaves had sticks, had a small opening with a cozy home inside. Bat could even hang from one of the twigs at bedtime, because bats sleep upside down. Perfect, thought Bat. Bat gathered bugs for a snack for later. Then he hopped up on a twig and fell fast asleep. And that looks like a lovely home. But it looks like there might be someone already there. Squirrel was dreaming of nuts. Delicious nuts, crunchy nuts, snoring nuts. When Squirrel woke up, she was startled to discover a bat sleeping upside down. "Excuse me, this is my home," Squirrel said to Bat. Squirrel shook Bat. "I'm going out to hide acorns. Please leave before I get back." There's Squirrel's cozy bed. Dreaming of nuts, as I'm sure squirrels do. Squirrel had a feeling that Bat wasn't listening. To be on the safe side, Squirrel left a note. And there she is with a pencil. At dusk, Bat woke up and found the note. The note says, "Dear Bat, bug off. Sincerely, Squirrel." Oh, Squirrel doesn't like bugs on her bed, thought Bat. He piled the bugs in a corner, wrote Squirrel a polite reply, and then took off for bug hunting. You can see that Squirrel's note was written on a leaf. And there's Bat writing his reply. "Sorry about the bugs. See you later, Bat." Squirrel came home a little while later, ready for a good night's sleep, and saw the note. "See you later," she thought. "We'll see about that." Before climbing into bed, she hung a new note outside near the opening. And this new note says, "Dear Bat, Bat's not welcome. Sincerely, Squirrel." Hunting mosquitoes, hoppers, and stink bugs all night made Bat tired. He couldn't wait to curl up on his twig. When he got back to Squirrel's house, he saw the new note. But as you can see, there's a butterfly on the note, or a moth, or something with wings. And now it says, "Dear Bat, Bat's welcome. Sincerely, Squirrel." Changes the meaning completely. What a nice friend, thought Bat. He wrote back to Squirrel. The note says, "Hi, thanks for the warm welcome, Bat." Smiley face. "Again," said Squirrel when Bat's snoring woke her up. Before she left for another busy day, she wrote her most forceful note yet. And Bat's asleep. Squirrel's looking a little annoyed. And there's the sun coming in. It's very beautiful. Her most forceful note yet. It says, "Dear Bat, leave my house. Sincerely, Squirrel." Bat woke up. He stretched. Squirrel's latest note was hard to miss. Bat smiled when he read it. Okay, he thought. In the moonlight, Bat added more leaves to Squirrel's house. It nearly doubled in size. Bat was exhausted after the long night of work. Before he fell asleep, he wrote to Squirrel. What did he write to Squirrel? "I leaved your house. Hope you like it, Bat." Huh? Thought Squirrel when she read the new note. This Bat is batty. Before she left the snoring bat to find nuts, Squirrel thought she would write one very last note. And she's looking annoyed as she writes on a mushroom. What does it say? Outside, she noticed all the new leaves. That's pretty nice, thought Squirrel. Bat woke up at sunset. He didn't see Squirrel in her bed. The note says, Dear Bat, scram, adios, goodbye. Ski-ram? Adios? Goodbye? Read Bat. I wonder why Squirrel left. Bat flew off to find bugs. Meanwhile, Squirrel sat on a stump. She was sure her last note made Bat leave. She started to miss him. He did fix up my house, thought Squirrel, and he writes such nice notes. While catching bugs, Bat thought about how lonely it would be without Squirrel. He started to miss Squirrel. Bat flew back just as Squirrel came home late. You didn't leave, Squirrel shouted happily. You didn't either, shouted Bat. Want to come inside? I'll teach you my favorite game, said Squirrel. Sure, said Bat. Now they're becoming friends. Bat and Squirrel played tic-tac-toe until sunrise. That was fun. I'm sleepy, Bat yawned as he hopped up on his stick. Good night, Bat, said Squirrel. Good morning, Squirrel, said Bat. See you later, said Squirrel. But Squirrel had a feeling that Bat wasn't listening. Here they're playing tic-tac-toe with acorns and bugs. And there they are saying good morning, good night. But Squirrel had a feeling that Bat wasn't listening. So Squirrel left one very, very last note. Dear Bat, welcome to our house. See you later, your friend, Squirrel. And that's the end. One last leafy note. And a pretty pattern of leaves and bugs. The end. And on the back of that one, there's Bat writing one of his notes. There it is. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for the squirrel-themed story time. I've been seeing a lot of squirrels running around hiding nuts for the winter, so that's what made me think of it. Thank you again, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you next time.